Are you stuck? How about unhappy? Join Alena Chapman, author, mentor, and life coach for Magical Moments with Alena as she challenges you to get out of the doldrum and start living your life to the fullest. In just 60 minutes, Alena will help you take control of your life and push you to do the things you never thought you'd do. So get ready to take back your power and celebrate life with Magical Moments featuring Alena Chapman.
Welcome to Magical Moments for that ease and betterment in your life. I'm your host, Alena Chapman. And guess what today is? Ask Alena. And this is going to be such a really cool show because you guys are awesome. You're just fantastic. You ask such cool questions. We have one person who even disagrees with me. That's going to be interesting to talk about. I love that. I don't mind that because it helps to bridge all the in-between people who aren't sure when we talk about that kind of thing. And also raising vibration when you really feel like crap. Isn't that interesting? And I've got a nugget always. We always have a nugget. And the last thing we're going to talk about, so stay tuned for all the way through. I did this Inevitable You seminar, and I've got this incredible fun system to help you get into that state of the creative spirit. And it's called WOW. I tried to think of something you would remember. Who could forget WOW? So it's the WOW system. So there's 3 things. And I'm going to talk about that at the end. How to tap into that creative state of being. And that's a great place to be. So let's start out with the nugget because it's about the ease and betterment. And one of the biggest little snafus that gets you out of the right vibration, out of the ease and flow, out of the feeling good, out of the gratefulness, out of the wonder, out of everything is when we judge. Ha-ha. And it's sometimes little. Why am I bringing this up? Because I was at a movie theater and I went to see Little Women. Oh, such a fantastic movie. So anyway, I was in line and this woman was in front of me and she had her 3 daughters with her and they were having so much fun. They were just laughing. And they were right there. If with law of attraction, they were right in the vortex. They were excited. They wanted to see this movie. They were having so much fun. And then all of a sudden, one of the girls starts picking on another girl that is walking ahead of her. Oh, what she was wearing, her hair was pink, whatever. How could she do that? And the whole conversation went right down the vibration scale, down into a world of critical. No more happiness, no more creativeness, no more looking forwardness, no more laughing, no more. It was all about all the negative stuff. And how many times do we allow judgment to come in and snafu our feeling great? We're in that ease flow, we're in that wonderful place, and then we judge. Now, we could be judging someone else, but we could be also judging ourselves. Oh, how come I couldn't even get that right? Bam. You just brought yourself out of the creative spirit in one shot. Isn't that amazing? So when we have judgment like this, I think it's interesting because when you are learning about the Tao, and I love the Tao, I love Buddhism, I love all the modalities, I love religions. That's why I bring this stuff to you. That's why I'm a spiritual curator, because I love to bring this stuff to you. But it is this level, in all the Eastern religions, they talk about this. It's a level of detachment. Just when we see someone else, just understanding, she likes pink hair. What's wrong with that? It's all right to like pink hair. It's not for me, but my gosh, it helps her complexion. To let things go, not put when we judge, we're putting a vested interest in that. And does it really make a difference? Does that woman really care that you don't like her pink hair? No. So just back up. And it's an easy thing. Just press a button in your mind, that little red button that says reset, and just say, hey, do I really want to think like that? Is that really where I want to go? No. change it. It's that simple. So those women could have had just 1 second where they press that button, and then they could have been back on the vibration of seeing an exciting movie, being together, and right back into that vortex. It just takes one little change in your thinking, and you can change the whole vibration of your day, and you're back in the ease and flow. And soon, you know what happens? Soon, it's automatic. You don't even have the judgment. Now, wouldn't that be a nice thing? So this week, take a look at this judgment thing. Watch your words. If your words are not lining up with your vortex or your vibration of where you want to be, then say, that word didn't feel good. Redo. Bop. I'm changing the thought. It works like a charm. All right. So I'm the guest today. And what we're going to talk about are some questions. Like I said, you guys ask tremendous, wonderful questions. This one was from the show. I'm not sure which show it was from, but I do know this is Stacy in Idaho. And Stacy, thank you for putting your name. I love that because I have kind of an idea of who I'm talking to. You wrote, I understand about raising my vibration, but it's hard to always keep it there. Am I the only one having trouble? No, hon, you are not the only one. Okay. When we are raising our vibration, and I know there were a few shows where we were talking about raising vibration. For those of you who are just tuning into this idea of vibration is where we're operating at. Like emotions, thoughts, emotions. Thoughts cause emotions, emotions cause vibration. And when we send forth this vibration by how we feel because of what we're thinking or what we believe, we send it out, and it can be like happy and excited and wonder, which are extremely high vibrations, and they vibrate fast, okay? The vibration is a very quick frequency. Or it can be very low, like sad or anger, and then it vibrates very, very, very slow. I always say it's like a radio station. And when you're on that radio station, if you are on that wonderful radio station and you're on I'm on Aaron Copland kick right now. If you're on Aaron Copland and you're feeling that wonder and you're so excited, and that's a classical person if nobody knows that. or I'm trying to think of a group now, U2. I know that's an old group too, but that's a rock group. All right, so you're listening to that and you're getting this wonderful, wonderful vibration and you're feeling wonderful. Okay, that's all you're going to see. And that's also what's going to come to you because you're on that radio station. You're not going to hear punk. You're not going to hear country western because it's not that kind of station. Same with if I'm on a rap station or I'm feeling sad. Not that rap makes you sad, but I'm just putting this for an example. So I'm on a rap station. The only thing I'm going to see is rap. I'm not going to see Aaron Copland classical music or Vivaldi or even YouTube rock. No, you are going to see just rap. It's the same thing with sadness. Okay? So what this person is looking at, she's saying that she wants to be up there. She wants to be with you too. But she doesn't always feel that way. All right. I'll tell you right now, there are many gurus out there. And every one of us has a little bit different way that we do it. Because registering feelings is a very personal thing. But all of us do let it go at some point. Okay, all of us. Some say, just, register it, let it go. Now, sometimes that works. In fact, I was talking to someone. I was doing this Inevitable You seminar. And I got this incredible meditation person he's really, really good. And he's been doing it for 40 years. And he is so zen and cool. Anyway, that's on Inevitable You. If you want to learn more about that, check out soulmanifesto.com because that is a cool, cool program. But anyway, when I was talking to him about this, he said, I register I have that feeling. and I feel it. And then I let it go. Now, I do the same thing. I feel it. But because of the way my mind works, and because I know myself, and I am a wonderful person who can feel something and not even register why I feel it sometimes, I have to ask the question, why do I feel this way? Because for me, my feelings are intuition. And sometimes I'm not always with my intuition. I mean, I have to check in. I'm not just right there. So if I'm not feeling good, or all of a sudden I'm really sad, and it might have been something someone said that just passed over me, I have to stop and say, wait a minute, what was it that made me feel that way? And then I register it. It might be something that happened during the day. I look at it, I think, okay, that wasn't that bad, and maybe I can fix it tomorrow by doing this. And then I let it go. I let it go. And then when you let it go, you're back on your flow. Now, for the days that are just not great days, all right, register those. Stop, register them. It's not going the way I want it to. Why isn't it? Why is everybody throwing things at me? Why is there so much chaos? Just stop and think, okay, is this really what I want? Is this really what I want? No. So how do I change it? Okay, I'm going to tell everyone I'm taking an hour break. They need to send me things one at a time. I will get them done in the order that I'm ready to get them done. And then you change the flow. It's up to us. It's up to us to create the environment we want to live in. And when we do that, we can raise our vibration easily. But it's also up to us to understand how we're feeling. The worst thing we can do, the absolute worst thing we can do, is to just say, oh, I feel that way, but I'm going to put a smiley face on. I'm going to fake it. I'm going to just play music and just ignore it. Do you know why? Because our cells have memory. What do I mean? That means you're feeling that feeling, and you just took that feeling and you squashed it down into your system, because you got to put that smile on your face. You got to look happy even when you're not. And you shove that down, and all your chemicals of your body register with this, not with a smile on your face, because it's not real. And so the chemicals in the body go in. You're sad. Oh, we got to release this from the brain and this from the brain. And it goes into the cells. And it starts to store. It stores in your muscles. It stores in your groin. It stores in your heart. And our cells have memory. And you keep doing that, and before you know it, you start building up toxicity in your system. You don't feel right. I know so many people who run around with so much anxiety, and they take a pill and they try to fake it. They put the smile on. Meanwhile, they're going into adrenal fatigue. Their heart races in the middle of the night. They don't know why. They're all off in their digestive system. Stop, people. What is it that's causing this? Look at it. Allow it to raise up. Register it, what it is, or just let it go. You have a choice there. You can do it like I do it. You can do it like the Dave, the meditation guy, who's so cool. But the most important thing is you are normal. You can't always be happy. We're not here to do that. We're not here on this earth to just be this ball of, hey, how you doing? Happy. We're here to experience the contrast. Experience the contrast. Because where we come from is awesome. It is a place of pure joy and love and unbelievable peace. When we come down here, it is to create, experience, have love, but it's also to experience the contrast. Okay? And with that, you're going to learn what you don't want. And you learn what you don't want by your feelings. So register it. The cool thing is when the law of attraction, that's a secondary law, okay, of the universal laws. It's made up of the law of vibration, law of gestation, and the law of perpetual transmutation, which is thought. Okay, law of gestation means becoming, to walk forward, like to take the steps, baby steps. You know me, I like those baby steps. You take baby steps forward towards your dream. It's those three laws and the law of vibration we just talked about, and that makes up the law of attraction. When you have the law of attraction, we talk about contrast, and everybody has it. You want to hear a little secret? When you are experiencing a contrast, you are immediately, automatically starting to form what you do want. Now, do you hear me on that one? Because that's big. You're not only sitting down there in the woe is me, experience this contrast. No, your mind naturally wants to go immediately to where you're doing what you do want. Now, if you allow your mind, so a lot of us want to sit in the contrast, what we don't want, but your mind wants to go to what you do want. Allow yourself to believe in it. Allow yourself to say, okay, all right, yeah, I'm here, but this is where I want to go. This is where I want to be. This is where I'm going. This I don't want anymore. Thank you very much. And soon you'll start to see a change like that. Fantastic question, Miss Stacy. I love it. That was Stacy from Idaho. Thank you. Guys, if you are interested in sending in questions, if you have questions, yesterday we had this fantastic show with Wendy Darling. And she talked about vibration in a way that I just love. It's very woo-woo. She talks about healing with this vibration, which I love. I felt it. You can feel it, and it's real. But with that, you got to have questions. I know you have questions. And if you have questions about these kinds of things, what about being a creator versus a consumer? That's our next question. I know more than one person out there has questions about this because we are a consumer society. My gosh, they have been building us as a consumer society since the 1950s. I think they kind of got us going there. And when you're a consumer, it's not only just buying stuff, but it's also looking outside ourselves for all the experts who can help us instead of ourselves. And when we do that, we lose control all the time. Now, sometimes we do need an expert, but do we always need an expert? Do we know anything inside? So I know you have questions. So if you do, go to info, I-N-F-O, at soulmanifesto.com and just write in your question like these people do. And I'll read them on Ask Alena, or maybe I'll insert them in a show. Because look at how much that question one has helped people so incredibly much. The second question we have, you did not leave a name, but that's okay. You say, Alena, you had a show on being a consumer. I disagree. I like all the convenience and experts to help me. Okay, that's good. I'm glad. My question, I guess, I'm answering a question with a question. Well, that was kind of a question, I guess. I think you have to ask yourself, how much do you believe in you? And how much do you look at the creative situation of things? Now, sure, if I need an expert, I go to an expert. I actually fell like a few weeks ago and really, really slammed my back. Now, yes, I could sit and try to heal it myself, but first I had to learn what was wrong, and I went to a doctor, which was a specialist. Yes, sometimes these wonderful experts and specialists are out there for a reason. But this is the thing. How many times do we think we need somebody to always fix our problems? How many times do we just want to always call ourselves a victim and that somebody else has to fix it? We've even gotten so bad that if we break a nail, we can't even file it. We call a salon. That's for women. And I'm sure men have their own same thing going on there. Why can't we just get a file out and do it? It's the same thing with how we parent, how we go for our career, how we go for our love life. It all starts with what's going on with us. And when we start going inside ourselves with meditation, or actually with meditation, and looking at the problem in our meditation, oh my gosh, you are so much smarter than you think you are. You are so much more capable than you think you are, or that we've been made to feel that we are. Just try it. And meditation can come in many, many, many ways. You can walk out into the woods and just get really present. Feel the trees. Close your eyes and listen to the birds. Get really, really present. And then allow your mind to just go inward. That's an easy way to do it. Or you can have someone journey you and then drop you off on a beautiful island where you then go inward and you start to ask the question, whatever it may be. How do I solve this problem? How do I get my business off the ground? Do I need a business coach? Or do I know what I need to do? Or do I know how to, my kid is, he's growing crazy. He's 15. He's doing his own darn thing. How do I help guide him in the best way possible? Do I need to go to a counselor, or can I fix this problem myself? And when you're in your meditation, you will be amazed the answers you get. All of a sudden, you'll start seeing, like I did with my one son when he decided he didn't want to go to school. I just listened. I didn't panic. I didn't say, oh my God, I need a school counselor right now. No, I listened, and it said, look in his eyes and listen to him. And that changed everything. Sometimes when we start going inside, we get a bigger answer than we could ever get from someone else. We get a universal answer, an answer that is for the betterment of all and has a much better result, such as my child now, that same child, he trusts me 100 times more. He knows I always have his back. He knows he talks to me a lot more now. He doesn't feel he has to keep anything from me because he knows I'm on his side. Isn't that interesting? Who wouldn't thought that 1 minute in the car would change the whole direction of my parenting? And because I didn't run out and get an expert right away, but I listened to the small voice inside, the voice of my soul and spirit, and it changed the whole direction for the very best. We have everything we need inside if we just give it a chance. And we are the only animal that doesn't listen to our own self. We're the only ones. We get so bullheaded thinking we have to think the way we think. Open up, listen, and start using that beautiful soul, that creative spirit, and spirit itself will come in naturally. And all of a sudden, my gosh, you're starting to create a world, co-create a world in an ease and flow way, and you're not having to run out and get every expert in the world. Isn't that interesting? But if you like experts, I do think there is a place for them. I just don't think It's every time you turn around. So, thank you for that question. I think you probably helped somebody out there. Very much so. Every time we look outside ourselves, it's like we don't trust ourselves. And I'm not saying that's not every time we have to only rely on ourselves, but that should be the first place that we turn. And if we don't find an answer, then we look outside ourselves. I'll tell you, in my business, you ask me to do graphic design on my computer? No way. That's somewhere that I need to ask someone. But by going inside, I don't answer all my questions, but I do get exactly a clear picture of what I want so that when I talk to this creative graphic designer, I'm giving her what she needs to create the very best. Everything starts with you. And gosh, sometimes I don't think we have fear of what we can't do. I think we're darn scared of how much power we really do have. So ask me questions at info@soulmanifesto.com always. I'm always there. We're going to take a little break, but I'll tell you what. After this, we're going to have some fun because I really want to teach you the WOW system for how to tap in to that state of the creative spirit. And not just write a book, but my gosh, live there. We will be right back.
You're listening to Magical Moments with Alena Chapman, helping you find your inner purpose. Learn more online at soulmanifesto.com.
Welcome back to Magical Moments for that ease and betterment in your life. I'm Alena Chapman, your host. All right, so it's time. It is time to do this. You know, I just finished up this program, Inevitable You, because really it all comes down to that incredible place inside that Maya Angelou says, don't let anyone trod. And she's talking about the inevitable you that is a special part of you, that is the true you, the true you. So how do we start tapping into that? How do we start firing the creativity? As I always talk about, our soul, which that's what that is, the true you is your soul, really is about three things. We come down here for three things on top of our own personal message. But the soul is always, 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 always for expansion, which is growth, expression, which is creating, and love. And when one of those three is not happening, that's when you say to yourself, I feel stuck. So how do we tap into the soul without getting the critical mind really activated? The critical mind, all our critical thoughts. Well, one of the ways is to start tapping into the creativity. Now, that's what I did in Inevitable You. And actually, you should check it out if you want to. It is on the soulmanifesto.com. Inevitable You has me, of course, but it also has incredible people like Elizabeth Gilbert, Candace Harper, Cornell Thomas, Chad LaFave, Tara LaFave, and also Dave McElwell. And all these people are bringing you incredible things. That's why I'm a soul curator. I love to bring you other people. Elizabeth Gilbert has a different way that she talks about fear than I do. Does that matter? No, because that way works for her. My way works for me. You get to decide what works for you. We're all a little bit different, you know. Some things work better for other people. You might take what we say and morph it into something that works better for you. That's what this is all about. I think it's a different experience that you may really enjoy. But anyway, in that wonderful Inevitable You, I want to share a little snippet of how to get into that creative state. So let's do it. I call it the WOW system. I thought that was pretty creative. The WOW system starts with W, which is wonder. How do we get that wonder back into our lives? How do we get that childlike, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful? Or I'm so curious, that is so incredible. How do I learn more? That childlike, where everything is a new experience, everything has another level. You know what I mean? Watch a child go to the seashore and just see how they love the sand, and they pick up every shell, and they watch as the wave comes into their feet and back out. You know, they're in awestruck. So how do we've been to the beach a million times, but how do we get that state of wonder? So one of the best ways I know to start that is the gratitude. And gratitude, I know, it's so used so many times. But I'll tell you, the one thing with gratitude is that if it's done right, it can bring the very best of your life forward. And it can open you up to the universe with wonder. So start with gratitude. Start with writing 5 to 10 things down in the morning. The key is to feel each one. Don't just write it down and put it in your pocket, but to feel it. So if I'm thinking about my kids and I say, thank you for my beautiful 3 boys, I see a fun moment that my boys and I are all together. I feel it. And that feeling is what moves me forward into a higher vibration. But it also says to the universe, this is what I love. Do you see? So start doing the gratitude. Now, if you do that in the morning and the night, and after the gratitude, get quiet and say, how may I serve? Not, this is what I want today, and put your order in. Don't do that. Say, how may I serve today? Or what shall I learn today? And get very quiet. 15 minutes at the max. And you'll start to get something every time once you really get into tune of it. And then send love to a situation that's bothering you or 3 people that may be bothering you. And if you do that in the morning and night, you're already starting to open the door. Another thing I always like to add is that during the day, put it in your mind to notice 3 things that just give you that moment. You know, it can be people, some interaction that you have with someone that's just magical, where you look in their eyes, they look in your eyes, and you really have a deep felt conversation. Or it could be as simple as hearing the birds sing. Or it could be the clouds in the sky. Or it could be something that comes into your life that is unexpected and wonderful, and you just say, yes, that is awesome. Register it. Don't just kiss it off. Register it and just let it feel that awe moment, and do that at least 3 times a day. And the other thing I always say is start to treat things magical. Now, this is a big concept. So if I go for a walk in the woods, I'm not just going to go walking through the woods. Oh, there's a squirrel. No, I'm going to feel the tree. I'm going to really listen to the wind going through. I'm treating it sacred. It's a special moment. It's really neat when you start to treat things sacred, you see another side to everything. It changes life in such a way that you start discovering something deeper than what you see in the normal reality. You'll see messages that start to come to you live from the universe in more and more ways. You start to see how things really operate on another level. You'll start to understand a vibration that's going around in like the office, but how to change it because you understand it now. This treating things sacred is coming into the present in such a way with wonder and honor that it seems like everything opens up to you. Give it a try. You know, Einstein, I love this story of Einstein. It was from his chauffeur, that he used to go purposely have his chauffeur drive him out to a field, the same field, every morning. And he'd get out of his car and stare up at the sky. And the chauffeur said almost every morning he would have a tear in his eye. And that is wonder. That is sacredness. He saw the sacredness of the whole universe, the awesome awe of the whole universe. And then he would take out his violin and start playing to it. Now, is that magical or not? That's what I mean. Treat things with sacredness. And all that wonder of the wow will start to come in. You are now on the vibration of innovators. You're on the vibration of co-creators. You're on the vibration of scientists. You are on this really cool vibration now. That's the wow part. Now, the O part of wow is open to trust, open to belief. And that is hard for a lot of people because we are all into making it happen, being the yang in this relationship, the masculine, making it happen. And if it's not going to happen, you're darn right I'm going to do it. Well, okay, that's good. That's a good way to be. That's the will. I love it. However, when we open to trust and belief, this is a little bit different. This is saying, I've got what I need. I can do this. I trust. I trust myself that I can do this. I trust my idea or whatever I'm trying to create in this world, that it will come into fruition. And I trust Source, the universe, God, the angels, everything up there to help me create it. Now, how do we build this open trust? We have to feed our mind. We have to feed our soul. What are you listening to? If you're trying to build this, but you're listening to something that totally talks down about your soul, then you're creating a problem. Start looking at things, start listening to videos that feed your soul, that talk about the spirit inside you. You can listen to my videos. Of course, I'm going to say that, right? Of course. You can also listen to Waddles, has wonderful. Troward was a mystical Christian beliefs that talks about the spirit all the time. And I like Troward very much. O'Donoghue, wonderful little things that you can listen to there that have just very small that you can start your day out. Start to feed your soul. Listen to music that just enlightens you and inspires you and lifts you up to the incredibleness. Start talking to spirit, your soul, God, but not in an order of what you want, but in a way that just is a conversation. Start to believe that Source and the universe is your partner, that you are working on this life together. You are creating together. Start to do everything to build that. And as you do that, you'll start to hear the voice more. And you will start to believe more in that you're making the mold. You're making the mold. You are putting the idea out there. And divinity is taking that, what Waddle says, the formless substance, and pouring it in. And together you create whatever the idea is. But you also have to build that idea inside you. What do you do with that? Well, that's meditation. That is visualization. That is kind of having fun with the idea, using your imagination, that wonderful gift of the spirit. Imagination. What feels good? I started this Green Terra group of discussion. I want to do live chats all over the United States. I'm starting it online. It's a discussion. Nothing big. It's just a discussion on higher concepts and spirituality. I wanted to do that. That's an idea, okay? So I have it inside me. I have to see it. I have to see how it feels. And I just have to enjoy it. It has to be something I enjoy. So I feed that enjoyment. I see that wonderful idea of that just growing. I see us talking really cool conceptual ideas about all the different things of spirituality, mindset, and science. Wouldn't that be fun? And so this I'm feeding. And as I feed it, I'm putting forward my mold. I'm building my relationship more and more with what I believe about Source. And Source comes in and starts filling that. We are co-creating. And I trust in my ability to step forward into that, to grow into that. I don't doubt it. Do you see how that works? That's how you build the O in WOW, the open to trust and believing. It's so funny. We tend to not understand the relationship between what we listen to, what we read, who we talk to how that builds who we are, what we believe, and what we can accomplish, and our connection to spirit. We don't understand that. And yet that is one of the most key things. If you're always vibrating at a low vibration, that's a hard leap. You got to bring yourself up. You got to do the gratitudes. You got to see the aha moments. You got to listen to the things that are going to inspire you. It takes you stepping up your life a little bit, saying, hey, wait, I want to feel good. I want to feel this way. I want to be a co-creator. I don't want to be down here tearing everything apart every 2 minutes. Do you see? You got to grow too. And then finally, back to W, which is fun. It's the whimsical whimsy. Keep that in your mind. I love this one. This is the end of WOW. This is the whimsical. What did I just say? What did I say, Kayla?
The whimsical wowie.
Oh, wowie. I like wowie too. But this is the part where you have fun. Guys, you got to have fun. Life is, don't take yourself so serious. The one thing I say all the time now, my new thing, is that life is one giant experiment, folks. And the best thing we can do is have as many experiments in our life that we can. You know, Edison, the guy who did the light bulb, oh my gosh, it took him, 140 experiments? And every time he'd say, well, that just proved that I got to go another way. He didn't think, oh my God, that was a massive failure. I just spent $1 million on that. He didn't say that. He said, well, I guess it's not that way. We got to try another way. That's life. That's life, guys. It is a giant experiment. For us to find contrast, decide what we want, try that. Maybe that wasn't what we want. Okay, we change again. That's what we're here for. And it's okay. So one of the consistent things is if you can let go of the seriousness, stop taking yourself so freaking serious and start to have a little fun. It makes the journey fun. I have I hate to say it, I don't think I built that. I have always been this way. If it's not fun, I really don't want to do it. If I can't make it fun, then there's a good percentage that it's probably not going to happen. And if it is, it's not, I'll find someone else to do it. I don't want to do it. Time is too precious. Time is way too precious to me. And if I am doing things that are really yucky, I mean, I'll do it once in a while, but I'm not going to make a habit. I once met a person who says, you know, Alena, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Yeah, I get that. I do that too sometimes, but I don't live that way. I don't believe that. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but you can morph it into what you want to do. And it's much more fun. And if it's much more fun, guess what? I'm on a better vibration than this, I've got to do what I got to do. And the universe keeps bringing in stuff that you got to do because you think you are the fixer and you're going to do it. Interesting, isn't it? No, I don't want to be that way. I want to have a little fun. So what is fun? Fun is anything that makes you laugh, anything that lightens your heart. It can be bebopping in the car. Putting on something and just dancing. But sometimes you'll see me in the car and I'm either dancing or I'm singing. I'm on this Joni Mitchell thing. I am singing all the time in the car. I love her. But sometimes I'm very quiet because I'm listening to something on YouTube as I drive and I'm learning something. Now, do I think that's fun? Yes, I do. You don't have to be bouncing off the wall. Sometimes it's the quiet thing. Maybe it's getting a novel. Maybe you're going to treat yourself to a novel that you haven't seen in a long time. Maybe you're going to watch a funny movie. I always say, what about Bob? Great movie, folks. Great movie. I'm trying to think if there's another one. I don't know. There's tons of good movies out there. You can find what makes you laugh. Something that makes you laugh. Something that's fun. Go out to lunch with friends. Be with friends. Go to the dog shelter and be with the dogs and cats a little bit. There are so many things. Take a walk or a hike. Whatever it is, every day, have a little bit of fun. Doesn't have to be big. I love going to a bookstore. Three things. I can go to a bookstore, I can go to an antique store, or I could go to a nursery, a plant nursery. Those are like, oh my gosh, I'm like a kid in a candy store. I love them. I love going to a bookstore and just looking through the books. I love that. I love going to a nursery and seeing the new plants. And I love antique stores to see the little treasures I find. These are fun. And when I'm out there during the day and things are getting heavy, I'll go find a little antique store and bebop in. Or I'll go to a bookstore and sit down with all my wonderful decorating French and shabby chic books and look at them. I don't always do the self-help. No, I go to the things that keep my interests, my fun. So it's time to get the whimsical back into our life. Because when you start to get that fun, guess what it does? It taps into imagination. And that's even bigger. I used to do it with my kids, and I still do it with myself. Some people are going to think I'm so funny. But like when we were driving down the road and there was this wonderful graveyard and it's all foggy, I used to say to the kids, oh, guys, that's a story. That's a story. And we'd all have to make up a scary story about the graveyard with the fog. Well, I still do that. I'll see something and I'll say, oh my gosh, that's a story. Let's write a story in our head. And I'll be driving and I'm writing a story. I'm in my car a lot, obviously. Well, I've got 3 kids, so you are a cab driver. So I am writing these stories in my mind. I'm having fun. Those little things take you above the mundaneness of habit and life. That imagination is a gift of the Spirit. Feed it. Make it real. It'll help your visualizations. It will help your believing in yourself. And when you feed that, oh my gosh, then that feeds the trust, the openness, the belief. And that feeds even raising yourself up into the vibration. And the gratitude gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The wow system works together. And all those things, all of a sudden, you'll be sitting there having a cup of tea or a coffee, and these ideas will start downloading. Incredible ideas. Or you'll be at the office and your boss comes over and says, we have a big problem here. And instead of going into this, oh no, you'll be thinking, wait a minute, I got a solution. Isn't that cool? That's tapping into the creative spirit. But you got to step up. You got to step up. You got to build that wonderful wonder, that trust, and that incredible fun in your life. It's a cool journey, and I guarantee it. So that is the WOW system of Inevitable You. And I taught it more in detail. So if you want to learn more about that, that's where you need to go. But this is only an hour show. And I cannot do more. But I guarantee that's really cool. Also, looking at some of the things we talked about, fear. Fear is a big one. People really do have a fear thing going on now. So take a look at that. And quickly, just think about this fear thing. Is it real? Just ask yourself, is this real? No. And if you're doing that WOW system, by the way, guess what? It's a bulletproof vest against fear. It really is. Because the more you build the trust in yourself and the trust in God, I find it so funny. People always talk to me about God, and I love it. And they put in their little, what they want for Christmas, I always call it, their list of what they want God to do for them. But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. God's not Santa Claus. I used to say that. I used to teach music at Taylor. And I'd see people say, well, I want this. And God, could you please send this? And I'm like, God is not Santa Claus, folks. God is not Santa Claus. And it's not about that. It's not about that. And it's not going to be just, he's going to bring it. You've got to step up. You've got to become a co-creator with him. You've got to think this world is very physical. He's very ethereal. He creates through us. But if we're not ready and we're down here doing in need all the time and lack, oh, I need money, oh, I need this, oh, I need that. Guess what? We're in a different mindset. We're on a different station. We can't even co-create with him. But yet we want him to answer all our questions. And we want him to bring everything into our life. That's interesting. I think that's a very interesting concept. So take a look at Inevitable You, or take a look at the Green Terra. I'm not trying to advertise, but I know these things help. But most of all, if you have questions, go to info@soulmanifesto.com and ask, because you can see that everything I talk about, you spur the topics. You spur the topics of the show. You spur the topics of what I bring forward in content. It's very important. And most of all, start to just do things in baby steps. We cover a lot in these shows. But write down everything that you learn, but then pick one for the week. Like, for instance, maybe this week you just want to do judgment, or maybe you just want to have lots of fun, or maybe you're going to start looking at things that bring you into a place of wonderful wonderment, or whatever. But pick one thing. And when you get that dish spinning in the air, then add the other one. Today I'm going to do my gratitudes. Everything in baby steps. When you do baby steps and you do them well, you're moving forward the law of gestation. You're starting to raise your vibration because you're accomplishing and you're feeling successful. And then you know what? You get success. You get success. So, with this show, if you have questions, like I said, or check out the Green Terra group, check out some of the other things. I have a book coming out called Hello Soul. People are loving it. So check that out. I'll let you know about the pre-sales of that. But most of all, just have fun in your day. Stay connected to Source in the best way possible. Stay connected to the people around you. They're all little angels. And stay connected to that very incredible, inevitable you space inside. Namaste, my friends.
This has been Magical Moments with Alena, featuring Alena Chapman. If you missed an episode, download it now on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, CastBox, Deezer, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, or your favorite podcast platform. Learn more online at soulmanifesto.com.
Podcasts by Federated Media.